moving on to the other big story that everybody's talking about today when we woke up, Catherine. This is the story about the New York Magazine financial literacy columnist putting $50,000 in a shoebox and giving it to someone on the street because a phone call told her to.
Listen, they all, everyone's like, oh, that would never happen to me. The reason it wouldn't happen to you is because you don't have $50,000.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I went to the bank. No one knew you.
But Catherine, you read this story. Is this the L people are making it out to be? Because apparently in the story she's like,
oh my God,
as soon as I told
it's pretty bad.
It's really bad.
As soon as I told my family members, it turned out they had all been scammed for millions of dollars being wallet inspected.
It was basically just like once she kind of came out as like, yes, I've been scammed for $50,000. There were other people who knew someone some lawyer kind of in her extended orbit was scammed for like $1 million. The broad contours and this doesn't pass the smell test. Like when you're reading about it, she gets a call from Amazon. Okay, first of all, wrong. You can't even get Amazon on the phone. If whatever you bought explodes in your face or something. Amazon calls and they're like, yeah, we've actually been having a lot of issues with fraud on the platform. I'm going to forward you to the FTC, and the FTC tells her oh yeah, we've had this huge investigation open. It's great we got you on the phone. You're registered to 22 businesses and all these cars and all these bank accounts. And then it's revealed that it's a joint task force between the FTC and the CIA.
Yeah, and the FTC guy is like, here's my badge number.
Yeah, they keep offering up their badge numbers.
The FTC has cops.
Yeah, or the CIA, famously they carry identification or badge numbers, and also famously they operate in the U.S. Well,
there's some debate about that.
So yeah, it culminates, and they're also don't tell your husband. You're actually
that's a good sign.
But they're actually we're protecting him because we need to freeze your assets, blah blah blah, and it culminates in her. They're like, yeah, because your assets are going to be frozen. You need to take out $50,000 from the bank, which is all of her savings, put it in a shoebox, and then this car is going to drive up, and you're going to put it in the back, and then
sort of tradecraft.
And then they send her a treasury check, a picture of it for $50,000, being like, yeah, we'll deliver the hand or the hard check tomorrow. They did not deliver that hard check.
Yeah. Also, when the reason they told her to take out $50,000 and give to them was that in order for them to do their investigation on the people who supposedly stole her identity, they had to she had to take all her money out of her bank account so they could use it and the CIA could track it.
Marked bills, except digital or something.
Yeah. But when they set up her handing off the shoebox, they said they're not going to show you a badge because they're undercover.
I mean, I'm sorry,
I feel
it's undercover CIA.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but it's also lady, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, obviously from the jump, Amazon calling you is already a red flag.
Yeah.
But all of the, I don't know. In the article, she says, she starts it off in a funny way when she's like, I'm not the type of person who falls for scams. I vote, I exercise, and I floss.
I'm well educated.
All three of those things are scams, by the way.
Flossing's awesome.
A puppet of Big Floss would say that.
But I suppose now this is the opportunity to for me to get all high and mighty and say, oh, this would never happen to me.
My God. This is the stupidest. Yeah, Will being like, oh, this would never happen to me. Take it away, Will.
Well, look, I didn't give any money over, but an Indian gentleman did call me up at one time.
This was several years
ago.
To
inform me that the IRS was on their way to my house to arrest me for back taxes. And I was like, oh my God, what can I do to avoid being arrested? And then when it got to the point where he was like, okay, you'll need to take out what you owe in taxes in the form of an Amazon or Home Depot gift card, I was like, I'm not going to Home Depot. Come arrest me. Fuck this. No. But I was like, I don't think the IRS accepts payments and gift cards.
I think you also told me, and I was like, absolutely not. I think they said they were we're the IRS cops. They were we're sending the Brooklyn cops.
They're sending Briscoe and Green to my apartment.
In the case of this, and the whole thing is financial literacy. In the case of this woman who wrote for The Cut, Like they knew her son's name, they knew her social security number, they knew the names of her family members. Like it sounds like it was fairly sophisticated, and she kind of rationalized it by being like, you know, I would do anything to save my son. You know, I feel good that I wouldn't fall for this because I don't have $50,000. So
Yeah, she was a freelancer with 80 grand in the bank. How about that? That's financially literate. But yeah, like Catherine, I think you had the right take on this. Is like it's, you know, we all like to laugh at somebody taking a massive L. But this is sort of like in the vein of somebody should do something about all the problems. Like the fact that literally every phone call that you get is just a mugging waiting to take place.
yeah, I absolutely never pick up my phone if I don't know who's calling, which has led me to miss a lot of calls from, say, doctors who don't leave voicemails, which is really weird. But yeah, every time you answer the phone from like a blocked number or just like a number you don't know, it's a fucking someone trying to take you for a ride.
Yeah, that and email are like unusable now.
Yeah, no,
and
like the entire promise of global telecommunications have been rendered unusable.
Return to tradition.
Passenger pigeon.
Passenger pigeons.